Thank you.
It's not Martian. It's Amergosa. Amergosa.
There we go, fam.
Amergosa.
Don't.
He's never been here before, bro.
That's right.
Yeah. He's never done a Kiss That Tempo before.
Never has, bro. Exactly. He's a complete stranger. Shit.
Yeah, Kiss That Tempo, bro. Amergosa in the building. RVMII in the building.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Don't look back.
You guys that don't, for those that don't know, Amergosa and looks familiar on here. He was formerly known as Martian.
This man cheating.
You know, there's some times where I want to call you Martian, bro. To be honest, like
I
there's
just did, bro. I just did.
You know what's funny, bro? This whole week I was at work. I don't know why, but I was like, bro, I forgot your fucking old alias. Yeah. I was just like, what the fuck was it, bro?
Hey, Martian, can I ask you something? Why the rebrand, dude? I just never like I've always just been wanting to like kind of like put the pieces together. I was thinking Martian.
I feel like, no, Martian's cool. Don't get me wrong, but Martian's more of like he knows, and a lot of like my homies going back. Martian's more of like a homie nickname that I've had since I was like fucking 15. So I just brought it. I was like, I don't know. I make music. I need a name. I'm already called Martian. I was like, fuck it, Martian. But I rebranded because I got like tired of like the whole like, oh, you're Martian, you're alien. Blah, blah, blah. Like, bro, I don't fuck with the whole alien bullshit. Like.
Wait, what? Hold on.
Wait, what?
Like, no, I don't fuck with the whole space, Martian, alien, moon boy.
Fraud. Nah, just play.
So I was like, I'm more mature now. I have a different sound. You know, Amergosa. I'm more into like my Latin roots. So
it's not
I
wrong.
just chose Amergosa. Well, I didn't just like, oh, Amergosa. It was like, I just looked up like cool ass words in Spanish.
I was about to say, was there other names you had in mind besides that one?
No, actually, I was just looking up like cool words in Spanish that I think would go better, but they had to start with the A. I don't know. I like the letter A, so I found Amergosa, which means something different, but I wanted the same name, but I didn't want it to mean what that meaning meant, so I just changed the lettering up. And Amergosa, it fit perfect because shit on all social media sites.
Clear.
The account is free. Yeah, I have the original Amergosa.
Yeah, I feel you, bro.
Hey, that's important for sure. Having the handle,
that, bro.
I remember you telling me too, like with Martian, like the handle for you was like kind of complicated.
Yeah, a big issue with Martian was the whole Beatport shit, bro. I could never get my Beatport account cleared because there was like fucking like 50.
Damn.
Martian, bro.
God, that makes a whole lot of sense now, bro.
Annoying. So, and Amergosa is literally clear, bro. I have the original like Audius, Amergosa, Twitter, Instagram, like you name it. I have the.
You're the first one to claim the actual.
I have the original Amergosa.
That's a big step. That's a big thing too.
Basically, it's just like growth and not wanting to deal with the whole Martian, alien, UFO, moon boy bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I was digging like you could have still kept on going Martian, but yeah, for sure, like.
It's just, and then like I feel like when you think of the name Martian, you think of more like bass music, bassier music. You think of like, oh, this guy has like some grunge, some heavy, like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay,
I don't want to go that route anymore. I kind of want to go a little bit more simplistic, more like I said, I'm touching more into my Latin side, my Mexican roots.
Pues está bien si hablamos en este episodio en español. Pues por todos nuestros fans que están en español, bienvenidos a Luso Tempo. Aquí andamos con nuestros.
Bonjour.
No mames, güey.
That was basically the rebrand reason.
Okay, yeah, I was just always curious about that because I remember I got a follow from my account. And I was like, oh my god, so who is this person? Then doing some research, I was like, oh, Martian just rebranded, and I was just curious because I personally didn't see. I was seeing growth and I was seeing evolution, right? But I didn't necessarily felt like, not saying that you didn't have to do the rebrand, but like you know what I'm saying, like I was just curious as to why you made that switch to the name, you know, like. But now I understand more of the switch of what you did.
A bunch of people too. Like I even talked with Jose. Me and Jose had a talk, and he was like, "Everyone, bro, literally everybody said don't do it, and I did it." Yeah, literally, like I had nobody saying do it, and I just did it.
I thought it was cool. I like that. I like it. Yeah, I like it.
I like it.
It's very like it makes sense with the music you're making and like just all of it together, and the way like it looks written out too, how you have it, it looks dope. Yeah.
You know, I also want to go for like the aesthetic side of it. So you see Amergosa, the way I'm spelling it, the way I'm writing it, and me being a Mexican guy, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, really? You're Mexican?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Rasa,
for sure.
So I just felt like it was just the perfect thing for me. I kind of felt like for a couple of years now, I kind of felt like behind a shadow when I made music under Martian. I know that sounds a little weird and like emo, but like I felt like this isn't right. This doesn't feel right. You know what I'm saying? Mm. Like I would make music and I'm like, I don't know, something doesn't feel right.
It wasn't something you wanted to put your all behind, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much, right?
Like Martian is my nickname. Like all the homies from like back then and still till now, they still call me Martian, and that's cool. That's my nickname first and foremost. Amergosa is my artist, you know.
Makes sense. Got you.
So it's gone now from it went from homie to actual artist name, and then went back to homie, and then now for the artist name is Amergosa.
Yeah,
I got it.
And then like it's still hard for the homies to call me Amergosa or like Gosa. I'm like, bro, call me Martian. I don't care. Like Amergosa is for like the fans that are just, you know, barely finding me out or like, you know, whatever the cases are on flyers or whatever. But the homies now still call me Martian. It's still my nickname, you know. Still to this day, I still get called Martian. Like, bro, you just called me Martian.
I did.
You just called me Martian too.
Yeah, but yeah. Well, I mean, we've all feel like a lot of us have gone. I'm not sure about you, Rami. I don't remember, but I feel like a lot of us have gone through like that name change process where we have like some time behind it, and it's like, okay, I think we're gonna do like a name change. And I've always felt like it's always cool to identify like your friends that give you specific like that attach you to certain names through like your certain phases, because then you know like, oh yeah, I remember he was there when I was like for example, I was DJ Twitch like starting out. So when people come up to me like, when people are like, oh, DJ Twitch was good, bro. Like, you still Twitch, you still DJing? I'm like, oh, for sure. Like this person, like I remember this person, like. Well, yeah, there you go. So like, it's cool that there's that distinction that happens when people give you certain names.
OGs, you know what I'm saying? You guys understand, like, well, in my sense, you guys know me as Martian, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And you guys feel comfortable saying it. It's not like, because you know I'm Amergosa now. It's not like, oh, Martian. So it's like, nah, like, go ahead, like, call me Martian. It's cool.
I honestly like forgot for a cool second. Like,
that's Martian?
I just mentioned it too. Yeah, exactly. I did too. I just told you, bro. I literally had a brain fart for like the past couple weeks. Like,
call me Gosa.
Gosa? I like. Okay, I like that.
Gosa's kind of fire. Sure. I'm not gonna lie. Gosa kind of fire.
I don't know how to say Amergosa. Hey, Amergosa. Like, I don't know how to say that.
Amergosa.
I'm not as Mexican as I look.
His Mexican vowels aren't there yet, bro.
They're not, fam.
I'm not even saying it correct 100%. Like, you have to roll the R's. I can't even roll that.
I can't roll. I can only roll.
So like with the name change, is it just like you feel like the evolution of music and like the sounds? Is it like appearance or like anything else outside of that too? Like
it's 100% everything. It's like, you know, Martian was more of a darker me, heavier, really more bassier. And then as I'm getting older, changing and like I'm stepping away from that kind of that sound. I feel like it's more like, I just want to say the best way to put it is it's like older, growth, adult. And I feel like Martian was teenager, kid, young adult, and Amergosa is like straight adult. Like, you know what you want, you know what you're gonna produce, you know how to produce, you know what you're doing now. You know what I'm saying?
You're giving me, you're giving me a lot of like the Porter Robinson and Virtual Self vibes, where there was that stage of Porter Robinson, and then it's like, all right, we're stepping away from Porter Robinson. And now we're doing the Virtual Self. And then, a lot of artists step into that.
Yeah, no, he knew he wanted to push that sound now, and he really wanted to do something with it, but he was just like, I can't do this on Porter. I got to make I got to make an alt. So he made the alt, and then sure enough, Virtual Self fucking blew up. He almost won a fucking Grammy.
Damn, that's crazy.
He got nominated for a Grammy. I don't know if you remember that. For Ghost Voices?
Ghost Voices?
Yeah.
I didn't. Is that for the... What category was that?
I think it was best electronic single.
Best electronic single?
Yeah, some shit like that. And that dude, he got nominated, bro. Like,
that's
come on, bro.
Dude, that's honestly cool.
That's fire, dude.
For electronic music, honestly, that's a feat.
I feel like, I couldn't talk for anybody else, but I feel like I just went through a stage, and I feel like other artists can understand. Like, you just go to the stage. For instance, before Amergosa came about, the whole name change, right before, like 3 or 4 months before, I wasn't working on nothing but the style that I'm trying to go for right now. Right now I have a bunch of tracks done, but like nothing coming out because of how hard I'm really trying to like perfect what I'm trying to do. And I'm like, oh no, these like I even wrote the songs out with Martian and like the name of the songs. I'm like, oh, this doesn't sound right. They don't even look right. You know what I'm saying? So
you're like getting a lot more like pickier and stubborn with
a lot more
sound.
exactly. Okay. A lot more picky, stubborn, and very like I'm not just gonna put shit out because I have shit. So okay, you know what I'm saying?
Makes sense.
But yeah, that's a big reason why the name changed as well.
True. Well, that's another reason why we got here though, bro, for our fucking 100th episode, fam. The reason why we brought everybody back in here, fam.
That was like in a span of about 2 years.
Don't sample those claps.
We got to this, yep. That's just on the spotlight, though. I mean, we're about like 75 episodes on Guess That Tempo. We just hit 20 on Down Talks. Live set. I mean, not even including live sets.
Well,
I've seen you post
the Don Talks? Yeah, so it's just a podcast with just me talking about just a bunch of shit. Just I pull up tweets. It's just a bunch of random shit, to be honest. Okay. Yeah, but it's just me solo doing it by myself, but sometimes I'll bring in.
It's called Don Talks, right?
Yeah, it's called Don Talks. Yeah, exactly. For sure. Yeah, but bro, we have like over like 300 and something videos uploaded on our fucking YouTube channel, dog. It's crazy, wild. Bro. Over a span of 2 years though. It's fucking insane. But
I see Lose the Tempo, bro. And like this whole podcast, like I told you earlier, like congrats, bro, because to stay this consistent for this long is really hard. You know?
It can be challenging. It gets easier over time, though. I think it gets hella easier.
So you guys probably got over that hump, huh?
Oh, dude, I think
it's a consistent hump, bro. I think there's always gonna be like, because you're right. Like at first, it was a very hard struggle, and it got a little easier. But then once you realize like you want more for like your stuff, things get a little more difficult because you try to put that more emphasis and on effort and things, and then you want to be even more consistent with things, and then like you start holding yourself to like different standards and shit, and then like you're still outside life and shit, and all that is still going on at the same time.
Yourself, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so we have to find time for that shit too, and like, because think about it, if we weren't doing the podcast right now, or if we weren't doing the podcast in general, but we'd probably be producing or something right now, you know? So
or just something. Like,
your own hobby or free time.
Or just more free time. Yeah, it'd just be more free time. But yeah, we had to bring some past guests for this 100th episode because this is it, bro. That'd be some shit. The recording got like fucking like glitched out. Like, oh, what the fuck? Hey, but don't get it twisted though, because we, like I said, we've had like those little humps where we've had recordings. Like we've had guests, bro. We've had people come in. We've had like long hour recordings, like whole ass episode.
And we didn't get shit.
Weeks worth of recordings, and at the end, like either a file got corrupted or like a recording just like didn't fully go record. Like that shit's happened for sure. Like
imagine that happening on like a Joe Rogan scale.
Oh,
that'd be crazy.
Well, I mean, Robert mentioned to me because he listens to a lot more podcasts, like in terms of like different kinds of podcasts, like comedy and shit. And he tells me that they talk about all the times like that. That shit happens.
It happens a lot, bro. Like you might not see it or might not think about it, but think about it like this. Joe Rogan probably records, like, and I'm just using him as a reference. He'll probably record like 5 podcasts a week, but then he'll only upload like 3 of them a week. So sometimes those he'll do interviews with people, but then the mute button might have been on for one mic, and then like it's just
that's trash.
Yeah, but I mean, it does suck. But think about it this way sometimes, like, say, what happens if, like, the first time, like, it was a first-time guest, right? This is the first time we ever talked. Maybe they weren't as loose that first time, right? And then now we have a reason for us to come back and now for you to feel more comfortable. And I'll give you a perfect example of one that happened to us. Like, a perfect example that I'm glad, like, it happened. Yeah. Mystic, bro. Our first podcast we did with Mystic, we lost his audio. We had all the video. No audio, bro. And it fucking sucked. And it took us like a couple months to reschedule him in. But when we did reschedule him in, like it was at a time where like he was just like starting with the whole Stunner Posse badmouth shit. Like he was like working and grinding, and I feel like it kind of
in a beneficial way.
Yeah, exactly. So like at the end of the day, it might have sucked at first.
It's a blessing in disguise.
Yeah. Yeah, we just gotta take all the fucking the bad shit as we go.
That worked out.
Have we ever had like a I don't know, bad guest? Like we never had like a bad experience with a guest, did we? Like it always been like kind of cool. Like
I want to know if you guys have.
I'm trying to think too.
Like I don't think I've had a guest like come in here and be like, and then I felt like like that was, I don't know, I felt bad, or I don't know, I didn't really fuck with that. I never had a feeling like that. Yeah, I guess with like all the past guests we've had, every guest has been like, all right, that was cool, or at the very minimum it was like, well, okay, like that was how it was. Like it wasn't that much conversation. Like, you know, a lot. You have to work a lot to fish out questions and whatnot. But there you go. Like there you go. There's some episodes where guests are talking and they're definitely adding a lot to the topic, and then there's guests that are like, nah, but dude, I mean, everyone could just click on the channel. They could go through all those videos, and I mean, there's just a bunch of guests that we've had, a bunch of segments that we have as well. Like Guest Ensembles, one of the first ones that we've been doing for a while. True. Dawn Talks is something that got introduced about like 4-5 months ago. Is that about right?
So like I did the first one last year in December, but then I started being consistent with it, like. And
I think that's how you're like trying it out, weren't you? You're just trying
to do the first. Well, I did the first episode, and the studio was all looking different and shit. Yeah. And then like, yeah, it took off like maybe a couple months, and then I started doing it again, like consistently. Yeah, crazy. Like once a week type shit. Yeah, because I feel like we just needed more content for like the Lose the Tempo channel. Like, as much as like I love doing just the spotlights with people and like the Guess the Tempos. Sometimes we don't ever focus on just like EDM, like straight just topics that are happening during the week. Because at the same time, we have guests. So at the same time, we're kind of interviewing at the same, you know? So like we're not hitting like the, like just the key points within EDM. The buzz, yeah, you know, the buzz shit. So like I try to do that and try to like go on Twitter and see what the fuck people
like
are.
This Twitter account that I follow, this guy, he's like more in the dubstep community. I forgot his name. He literally posts every single week, like on this week's EDM news. And it's like, this happened. He posts like every Friday or
what the hell?
Like that. But it's pretty fun. It's pretty cool to see.
By chance, he doesn't produce, does he?
He's a producer too.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
He has like a Cyclops thing in the back. Like I think I don't know. He's a dubstep producer for sure. I don't
I think it's Cyclops. I think you're literally talking about Cyclops. I think you're talking about Cyclops. Yeah. I think you're dead ass talking about Cyclops. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because I think there's an act. Right? Yeah, he always posts like every week. Okay, this is what happened. This shit. Lays it out. And I see it too. Doesn't go into context, but it'll just tell you what the fuck happened during the week. I mean, it's been like that in EDM Twitter recently. So.
Like about every genre, like this happened.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about too. Yeah. He's been laying it out on Twitter, right?
He's been fucking laying the whole bro. He's been low-key putting the bass community on blast.
That's like a topic for like bass heads. I don't know. Like the bass community right now is just,
I don't know, bro.
Some shit.
The dubstep community is on some shit.
Yeah, same, bro. Same.
Hey, can I ask you guys something real quick though? I want to know your guys' opinion, but I'm pretty sure like I've made a really calculated observation about this. But would it be fair to say that it's dangerous to be a rapper in these days than it is to be like a DJ?
I think in general, just to be a public figure is dangerous nowadays.
Yeah.
Depending on your lifestyle, depending on how you flex on social media.
I think depends on where you live too. Like that.
Well, yeah, that too. But like,
because I hate seeing like a lot of like these like public figures, specifically like rappers, like you know, like go through this type of shit. And I never really see like stories of like
I wouldn't think it'd be just public figures. I think it was specific rappers because you don't see like the number one DJs getting smoked or anything like that.
Yeah.
You don't see like, you know, like anyone.
Or maybe not just pop, maybe
you
not
don't see DJs. Country artists getting smoked like that.
Or pop. You know,
you know what? Yeah, I'll take that back. I'll take that back.
No, but you're right though. Public figure.
I'm pretty sure every public figure just have to be careful, and even then, those more public figures are careful about what they post and how they review their location, etc., etc. But rappers and like their like plus ones or whatever, bro, sometimes they just be too selfish.
I just think it comes with their like
the territory,
and culture, and like,
yeah.
I feel like if you're a rapper, you have to give off that I'm a badass image.
You have to,
yeah.
It's just that that's what they praise in that culture, you know.
Yeah.
That,
money, I'm badass. You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
you have to look badass.
I like.
Yeah, but
I mean,
it doesn't
look though, right? You know, you just gotta look it. I mean, I guess you don't really gotta like. That's the thing though. Like people gotta do it so that way you could really sell the shit, right? Like
exactly, yeah.
That's what sucks.
It's the image. It's the image.
Like people are like, oh no, that's just fake. Oh, you think it's just fake, bro? Like I hate that it has to be like that.
Yeah, you have to do it, but
you don't want to do it.
You have to do it, but you have to be very careful because, like, honestly, look at Pop Smoke and look at PNB Rock, for example. I'm pretty sure this is like the main topic right now. Fucking Pop Smoke got fucking smoked because he literally like leaked his address on a Gucci purchase on accident, and they showed up and boom, got him. PNB Rock, his girl fucking exposed their location on accident, and then literally like 10-15 minutes later, boom, ran up on. Which is pretty fucking crazy.
And I'm pretty sure there's beef in every like genre of music, like beef in EDM, beef in rap, or just stuff. And like, I've never really heard of a story of like fucking DJs like in the green room or like at an EDM show, fucking like
wait,
or like rocks.
It comes with like their culture, bro. Because think about this recent incident, the Takeoff situation, RIP type shit.
Yeah,
bro. He wasn't doing anything wild, dog. Yeah. He was just chilling in that shooting dice, which is normal in that type of culture type shit. Like it happens. Argument happened, and boom.
He was caught in the crossfire.
A DJ, bro. What type of environment as a DJ are you really hanging around where you're gonna be in that type of shit, bro? We're gonna be in a green room. We're gonna be in the club. After that, we're not gonna really be in those type of environments. Like that's just not who we are. That's just not what we do. Type shit.
And then what's fishy about that, the whole thing with Takeoff, right? Takeoff.
So
he died, but bro, the Migos booked that whole thing out. So everyone invited, isn't it like Migos homies? If you think about it, they booked the whole bowling alley out.
It was a private party.
It was a private party. I'm not sure who they were shooting dice with or whatever, but
like, how do you get killed at a party that you essentially made?
It should be good vibes.
Well, arguments happen anywhere. The question is like, was there a gun needed to be thrown like drawn out at a dice game? You feel me?
It was his own boy who shot him.
Yeah, it was a bodyguard. So the bodyguard, I guess his bodyguard is trying to like fire off the shot at the other dudes who started the argument and accidentally hit Takeoff in the head. Yeah. No, it was neck or above. I don't know exactly, but it was neck and above.
Like
lethal. But he died. Like he wasn't dead from that shot, but I guess he got shot a second time, and that's when he was for sure gone. He just literally lifeless on the floor. It's just,
but like, is it safe to say like it is dangerous to be like a rapper because of like the culture of like what it is and like the image that needs to be portrayed?
Also questionable too, because like look at someone like J. Cole.
Word, okay.
Or look at someone like Logic.
They,
you know what I'm saying? Or Drake, who's kind of not even like. I don't know how you say it.
I mean, they rap.
They don't have.
They be rapping.
They don't have the mob ties. I guess you can say.
Not in like situations like that where like they bring like I don't know how to explain it. That's why I said it's like really questionable.
I mean, Drake is in those situations.
The mob ties. The mob ties.
He runs around with like top like people are just gonna like
Yeah, but he's still in those situations. You know.
Do you think Drake will get shot by his own guy?
I think it can happen.
I mean, it's hip hop.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
hip hop is pretty
bro.
big. You know, like hip hop culture can stem just to like pretty much even into pop. You know, it's just I guess when it comes to like music, I guess like the culture the subculture behind that particular demographic subgenre, and then I guess like the lyrics, like like I guess like the whole like vibe of the song, whatever.
Yeah.
Bro, their songs are talking about shooting each other. Fam.
Exactly, dog.
Takeoff, he's not really a gangster. They're kind of just like the big rapper, like betrayers, whatever you want to say. But like someone like 21 Savage, who's actually a gangster.
He was,
actually did the work.
Allegedly.
He did allegedly. He alleged.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
Allegedly.
I feel like he's more like an at-home kind of guy. Like,
okay.
You don't see him on the shooting dice with the homies or like, I don't know. That's just how I feel. It's just, I don't know, where you put yourself in. I don't know.
Do you feel like if house and EDM, or do you feel like if dance music producers started making tracks that were like a lot more like praising like that lifestyle, do you feel like we'd be seeing a lot more of these incidents in like the EDM scene?
Yeah, I think so.
Just because like again, like going.
Talking about it, now you're
talking about it. Let's see you walk the walk, right?
There's some people that they want to test that theory out and they'll fucking do it just because they want to, bro. So.
I feel like to shoot a DJ would be really like
stupid.
To shoot a DJ.
It's like, bro, you're up there mixing and then you're off and then now you're partying and then you just leave.
But I'm not saying. Okay, you know what? Maybe I was capping earlier about DJs aren't really in those situations. Because they can't. When you're in the club, bro, depending on what type of DJ
you don't have to be part of the like exact situation, but you can be caught.
But you're in the club. But then there's also situations where, bro, you're the DJ and like, I don't know, emotions run wild in the club, right? And all it takes is a wrong look from a girl, you know, that looks at you and it's a wrap. Now you got problems with some people, you feel me? And I mean, I guess it could happen, right?
A lot of these rappers didn't get killed in the club.
That's true. Outside the club.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But lots of the
Takeoff is just trying to like be humble and like shoot dice.
In the club though too.
Probably, but if you look at like PNB Rock, you got killed. Look at
Roscoe's Chicken and Waffle.
What's that one dude that kid, this 20-year-old who died buying a car?
X? Yeah.
He got killed buying a car.
R.I.P.
Takeoff got killed at a private party. Like,
just doing something harmless.
Yeah. Pop Smoke got killed fucking shopping, bro. In his house after he went shopping. Literally a few hours later, they showed up.
And they were like after the club or like on the tour bus or like performing.
Yeah.
You know, I be thinking about shit like that, you know, especially when I go out and DJ and there's like a low key crowd and like, especially when we're DJing, like you're put like on that like booth where
you're
like
there,
sometimes
bro.
That booth is like elevated. So like you're an easy target for like anyone that like doesn't really want to fuck with you that day and be like, oh, okay, bet, like easy. You know, I be thinking about that shit sometimes.
Luckily, we got security, bro.
Like Rami, speaking of like public figures, like especially like not even music related, just like going up on a stage and there's a crowd.
Yeah, dude.
Like
yeah,
security
dude.
and all that shit. Like exactly, like Dave Chappelle, like getting tackled, like you know, like
yeah, dude. It's crazy.
We don't want to think about that shit because we're worried about entertaining and performing.
Yeah,
like, that's shit. Those are possibilities that can happen. Like.
It
to
happens,
performers,
bro.
and like it's happened, and like it's like
it's actually happened. There's only one time I could ever think of it that actually happened in the EDM scene. It was 2017, I want to say, and Getter was at Space Yacht. This is when Space Yacht had just first started. And I'm not sure. I think it was in LA. But I remember Getter was at a freaking event and he was there to support his homies. And I think this rapper, I can't forget his name, but he used to work with them in the past. And I guess like they had beef because like he did him dirty. He literally ran up on Getter and fucking knocked his ass. Well, he sucker punched him and then there was a brawl in the fucking venue and they kicked out Getter. Yeah. I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly. This is a fucking shit like a while ago, bro. But that's the only time I can remember like an incident happened in EDM like that. But obviously it's Getter.
No, I know who you're talking. It was with Bad something.
I don't remember
something with the beat.
I'm about to look it up on my phone, bro. Y'all
Brewski or Drewski?
No, not Drewski. It was something.
Brewski. I think it was Brewski. He was beefing with. He was like an EDM rapper, pretty much. Like
I'm looking this shit up.
EDM tracks type shit.
I'm looking this shit up, but I remember Getter put him on.
It happened in the club. Oh yeah, I remember that shit.
I'm looking this shit up, bro.
Hey, but how do we feel about that style of like aggressiveness, like going into? Because we've seen that, like I've seen that a lot in like EDM trap, where like they bring a lot of like that like hip hop aggressiveness, like violence type tone into it. Like, how do you guys feel about that? Like those type of collaborations? I think.
Wait, what do you mean, like that type of collaboration?
Like that colliding with like the EDM. You know, like how they bring in the gritty vocals, and then it's like
it could be hype
with like the drop and shit. Like
it could be hype.
How do you guys feel about that? Like, because we've seen that
energy and like
it could be hype.
Like,
it could be hype.
Me, like I don't care whatever energy you bring, bro. Like bring your own energy.
People won't like take too much thought into what they're saying. It's more just like.
I feel that way too when I listen to tracks.
Like they're letting it out in the mosh pit. Like at the end of the day, you feel me? Like when it comes to our music, when it comes to like rap music, where are they letting out that?
And then
that emotion at, you know, they're not letting out like think about it this way, even like the type of like drill music and shit like that doesn't really get played in the clubs like that. So where are they letting out that emotion when they're listening to that song? Bro, they don't, bro, that scene doesn't mosh. Like
no?
Drill, no.
Oh, no, I don't know.
Yeah, no, they're not moshers.
No?
They look at that shit as weird type shit. Like,
oh, they're just like,
yeah, exactly, bro. That's it. Yeah, bro, legit, and that's the time that music puts them on. That's what I'm saying.
That's great. Like, okay, for sure. I didn't know that.
I mean, unless they're crip walking out here or something, you feel me? Like,
oh hell no!
Oh man,
I always thought like, who's gonna be that fucking like producer that's gonna be like the 6ix9ine of the producers? Like everyone hates him, but he's still making his bag.
Carnage.
I mean, I ain't mad at that answer. I ain't mad at that answer.
I hate that he uses like the Latin culture so much. Like, oh, I came from so and so, and like, okay, you know.
Everybody has a story, bro.
Everyone's struggle, and some struggles are a lot more difficult than others. But like, bro, don't use that to sell yourself. Like, oh, I need everybody here. Tickets are selling out. We came from this and that. Like, bro,
if you kind of look.
It's like always his story for every show.
If you look at the situation, he's trying to pull every card in the book just to bring back his relevancy. Every card in the book. Oh, no one's taking risk in the music industry anymore. He did that, yeah.
For those that don't know, Gordo was formerly known as Carnage.
True.
Because I know there's a lot of fans that are like, oh, Gordo's sick. Oh, yeah, well, Gordo used to be Carnage, and do some research.
Yeah.
Nothing bad, but like, there was that alias that Gordo was like... Because I know, like, Gordo's been, I want to say Carnage, but I know Gordo is definitely trying to, like, put all of his chips in that Gordo name. Mm-hmm. And he's trying to, like, I guess, like, not really trying to have, like, the Carnage, like, be attached with him at this time. Because, yeah, everything's just Gordo, like, yeah, house music. Yeah, it's all house music. Like,
bro, no one knew it was me. Everybody wanted this record and didn't know it was me, bro. This shit was gonna change house music forever, ever.
I mean, that was some good marketing. I'll tell you that much. Yeah. It got some people to appreciate.
The song's alright.
It was like KTM, right? Get me. I'm like, bro, are you kidding me? That shit changed my life.
I'm like, bro, I could name 5 songs to talk about drugs like that. But bro, fucking Carnage, man.
About like, for instance, him doing that and like. The John Summit's like kind of like portraying and like letting it be cool to do drugs and like get fucked up. How do you guys feel about that? You're familiar with like what they post. Like John Summit, I don't give a fuck, but like John Summit be like, oh, I just blacked out. I just gotta fucking, woo.
I think that's what people are. I think that's what a lot of the public is drawing to when they think of John Summit. How he's this wild figure that likes to have fun behind the decks. Yeah.
For 3 days, bullshit. Like,
I'm sure he's like that, but I like to think that he's definitely like using that personality tone to become appealing to that crowd, because the crowd wants to be a part of that like energy of like, oh hell yeah, like where the after's at, or like, hey, like let's not end this shit early, like let's keep it going.
Yeah.
He's fucked up, so we're on the same level, like it connect. I don't know. That's how I see it. Like,
yeah, they probably think that they form a connect. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. There you go. Yeah.
Some people are very genuine with it, but some people you could tell they're just like, oh yeah, they're just trying to like.
Personally, I don't think personally as a branding for me, but John Summit, it's working for him. Personally, I wouldn't brand like, oh, I'm getting fucked up, or like,
you're more intimate with your shit.
I'm hungover. I feel like I'd be more quiet about those things. You know what I'm saying? Because everyone gets fucked up. People get lit, have a good time.
But that's not like the representation that you want for your brand.
Yeah,
I feel that.
But I mean, shit, it's working for him. I mean, he's the #1 selling EDM artist. So.
At the moment,
bro, shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, bro, it happened that quick. It happened, bro. He came and he stayed.
He's the EDM top 100 Beatport selling artist like ever.
Real shit. Yeah, right now. Okay, that was good. Good for John Summit.
It's working, bro.
I mean, he just sell out like 2 shows at the Shrine recently, like a month ago, bro.
Like, sold out. That's crazy. He just did a Space Miami set on Tuesday. 6-hour set from like 2 to 8 in the morning or something.
So John Summit's story, was it just like a couple just like viral hits for him, and it was just, or he, because I haven't really heard of the cat until like maybe a year or 2 ago.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
He came up during COVID time. He was like that guy who was making videos like getting drunk, smashing White Claws, but to back it up, he had like really good tracks. And then what really blew him up is he got signed to Defective Records, which is like anybody in house. That's like the pinnacle. He got signed to that record label, and then the rest is history.
Fuck yeah.
He blew up, and then K5 hit him up for that remix. And then
now he's like support for them at the Coliseum.
Oh, true.
Yeah, he's huge right now.
That's cool. Wild, bro.
Is that like somewhere that you'd like to be like at a certain stage of like your music career, like at a John Summit like level, like playing those type of shows?
Yeah, I would like it, but I noticed that like a lot more of the sound that I'm going for is really not popular in America. Maybe East Coast, a little bit more like New York, that area. But my sound and like what I'm going for is more popular in like Brazil, Colombia, UK, Ibiza, kind of sort of Europe down south. It's not really too popular out here yet, I feel. But yeah, I feel like that's where like the more I want to say like more I mean, I don't want to get no backlash, but I feel like it'd be like it's like the more mature crowd, like the older heads that are not into like, oh, that's mosh. Nothing against moshing, bro. I mosh forever, but like
I got a problem with what you said, dog.
But just more like I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, your shit's more intimate too. That's the thing as well. So like, I can see that honestly, if it's the whole aesthetic of it.
Well, I mean, you, Rami. I mean, I remember like just coming across you, like speaking about like me discovering John Summit. I think that was like almost around the time like I was discovering you. This was like what 2019, 2020.
This is 2020 like, during the pandemic. During the pandemic.
Yeah.
Bro.
So around the same time I was hearing about John Summit. I mean, from any scale, I was hearing about even like you.
Yeah.
I know I've been knowing you for years, since I think even high school, bro.
High school, yeah.
Yeah.
I was still going under Martian. I just wasn't. I was producing, but I was more under the radar.
Bedroom producer, learning the ropes.
Just me and my friends.
Mm-hmm. But, I feel like there was a lot of that happening. Like, cause I remember even there was a certain time I think like our senior year, like me and Robert and like a few others were like just under the radar, just like learning production.
Like Robert, I've known Robert for a while now too.
Mm.
Like, not this one.
Which one? Oh, Tarvieso?
You know, like
yeah.
Like yeah. And then like when you were at Twitch.
There you go. Yeah.
I remember that, bro. Like back at Vista, like I remember.
Oh my god, man.
But, yeah, I remember those were fun times. Like 2010, 2011, like 2012 type of shit.
Yeah, the electro dirty Dutch.
God damn, I'm a fucking baby.
You know, I remember that first year that I started DJing. Like, I played my first dubstep song like at a hip hop party, like at a house party. I was like, I don't know how this is gonna go. It was a Cinema Skrillex remix, dude. It should not have worked, but it fucking goddamn worked. It just fucking stupid worked, bro. They wanted me to play like Too Short and all this like crazy ass like booty shaking shit, and then they were like, "Hey, play some shit that you fuck with. Like if you like, just play whatever, bro. Like you got the spot right now." Cause they were just giving me a lot of requests, and I happened to have it, and there was like a certain minute where they're like, "Yeah, fuck it, just go." And this was like my first time actually actually playing an EDM song out in public, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna see how that works. And it was a dubstep track, and I wasn't really big on dubstep. I was playing more like electro dirty Dutch, but I just happened that was just like the first track I saw, and I don't know, bro. I was expecting it to like not go off, and it fucking went off. And after that, I was like, yeah, bro, I'm gonna just start DJing, because that was like one of my first gigs, and then I was just Twitch to like senior year.
Electro house.
That was the time.
Party was back in the day, bro. I just remember you like DJing. Weren't you DJing on vinyl? Were you ever DJing on vinyl?
Not necessarily vinyl, but like Serato turntables,
okay,
like time code vinyls.
Okay.
Like yeah, like it wasn't necessarily like OG vinyl. Like why is this fool being all extra and shit? Because there was controllers at the time, bro. I could have just brought a controller, but I don't know why. Like I was just very at the time, like this was like 2012. I was very fascinated by like the turntable technology and like how I was able to integrate with like Serato, and I was like, damn, like, because I started on a small Newmark controller, so like being able to see like the technology and how like the system collects information from like a needle, from like a time code vinyl, and then it shows you like, or the vinyl from the data from the laptop like being translated into like the vinyl, and you're able to like actually fuck with it as if it was like an actual record. I think that magic, like that for me, like kind of like put me on board. I mean, dude, it was. I mean, it wasn't no like walk in a park at first. I mean, the Serato setup, if you weren't really doing controller or virtual DJ, like there was Serato, and you had to get like a sound card to activate the fucking program. And nowadays, you can just get a controller with Serato built into it, and you're good. But yeah, back in the day, it was a little process. Yeah, honestly, I'm so grateful that now like I have a controller, because yeah, just the maintenance of turntables. I mean, any turntablist can tell you that it's just maintenance. Like if you're constantly like mixing like every week, needles, vinyls, sometimes slip mats. If like for whatever reason like you lose the slip mat, or like just for some whatever like there's just a lot of maintenance. The controller, like it's just you buy the controller and it's pretty much good to go. Like no maintenance. There you go.
Updates here and there. That's it.
Yeah. But shit. What about you, right? I mean, like oh shit. Like I wanted to ask you because I got to know each other like around 2020.
Yeah.
But was that like around your first year, right? You started producing. You've been like DJing or like.
So I was like you guys. I was producing under the radar. Well, I wasn't producing, but I was more learning production. I was kind of more slower at the time because I was a student athlete. So I was always just like focused on like soccer. Yeah, exactly. I was always focused on. Yeah, I was always focused on soccer, and then whenever I had free time, I would just like go on YouTube, learn tutorials and shit. And then I think that happened from 2017 to 2018. 2019, I would really start writing music, and I would put it out on SoundCloud under the low. I wasn't necessarily like officially like releasing music how I am now. And then 2020 during the pandemics when I finally picked up controllers to learn how to finally DJ, and then I did that. And then obviously next year, which is 2021 March, I launched RVMII, and then that's where I've been at since then. So it's almost been 2 years, bro. What the fuck? That's crazy.
So it's only been just RVMII then, huh?
I've had aliases. I've had other aliases. I'm not gonna cap.
Let's hear him. Let's hear him right now.
You're gonna get mad at me, bro. I was gonna be HUSKI.
What? HUSKI?
With an X.
Such a bootlegged ass version of HUSKI. HUSKI? That's like a goddamn.
I was gonna do that, and then I was just like, you know what? The reason why I came up with RVMII is because it's my last name Ramirez, RAMI. But there's so many fucking RVMII, so I changed the A to a V. But not only that, that was my alias during Call of Duty, which is when I really started deep dive. Well, I had been listening to like electronic music since I was like 7 through like being an internet kid. But I really dove into bass music and shit, like listening to drum and bass and shit during like gaming when I was under RVMII. So it's to kind of pay homage to that, you know what I mean? And that's how it's been. Yeah, that's pretty much the story of RVMII.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
You're doing a lot so far.
Yeah, it's working, bro. I mean, I haven't released much this year like how I did last year. Yeah, I just released like a couple weeks ago. Yeah, Good For Nothing, my single. My first 1,000 plays. My first 1,000 plays. Thank you, bro. Yeah, hope to many more, honestly, hopefully.
Dude, that's an achievement, bro.
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck what anyone says for like a musician.
It's like bread and butter.
First 100.
Yeah, self-released too, bro. Self-released as well. That may not be a big thing, but like for me, that's an accomplishment, bro.
Just for sure, bro. Like, because a lot of times those numbers are more common when it's like a collaboration with like a major label.
Yeah,
label with a lot more resources.
Yeah. Like my Can't Stop Me remix for you is like at 3K plays right now. But I don't want to count that. Because we both did our part in promoting that track. I did, you did, but I don't want to count that as my, you know.
I get what you're saying, but like it's real cool to know that it's achievable as an independent artist these days.
Yeah.
Because back then, like, you know, you didn't really have the accessibility or resources as an independent artist to now have these promotional tools. Yeah, the labels either gatekeep the tactics or just didn't want to like provide you to the direction to like promote shit.
Exactly.
So, like, you gotta figure it out. Fuck around and find out.
1,000 views to an independent artist is bigger than what people actually think it is.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty big, like, to think about it.
Yeah.
1,000 views, let's just say you times that by what your song's like 3 minutes, 4 minutes. That's a lot of time that people are listening to your music.
Exactly, bro.
1,000 views is a big thing, but since we're so like kind of oversaturated at the moment, where you see people with like millions of views and that, it makes
tens of thousands,
small, it's actually not that small.
Because everybody started from there, and everybody like once they hit their first 1,000, it just went up from there. Whether it was fast or slow, they saw the rise. It happens, you know. Which that's why like I'm happy where I'm at, and it's like. It's crazy, bro. I have no words about it.
As an independent artist, man, I think that's like definitely important to say because
it really is, dude.
It's not like how do I say this? It's a lot of effort that goes into like the preparation.
Exactly. Yeah. People don't realize. Like I've tried to explain this to people that like it's a long fucking process, bro. When it comes from like, okay, how am I gonna approach this shit? Fucking getting the publication, obviously finishing the track, artwork, fucking mixing and master, exactly, bro. Like that song had been in the works. Like if I was gonna count how long it was in my folder for, it was about a year. Cause I had made that song in like November of last year. Like I made the first demo of it and it just came out.
I feel like that.
I rewrote the song from like the original version that I thought it was finished. I went back to the projects like, wait, I could switch this up. Boom, it happened. Then I had like I got some tips from a good friend of mine, and he helped me out with the track, and then it fucking worked. And I'm happy about it, honestly. Yeah, dude.
But I don't know what kind of like annoys me a little bit is when you fucking you sign to a label and your song will come out for like 9 months later, and your production's already way past that. So when it comes out, you're kind of just like, yeah,
in the beginning, yeah, I could see that in the beginning.
But like your production's already like on that level because you've been grinding so hard.
Yeah.
Like that happened to me a couple times. I'll come out with a track and then I'm just like,
doesn't release for a while.
So let me ask you this: what would you? So it seems like you have came across a situation. So you just been like, oh fuck it, like you'll still release it, or now would you be like, you know what, let's just actually like not do the release no more? Like, are you in that mindset now? Yeah.
Like,
or would you still kind of be like, oh well, like we made the deal, like whatever, like it's still this, but like I'm on some other shit now.
That actually happened with my last release under Martian. I was already over like that style, and it still came out, and it did great. It did really good actually, but I was kind of just like, I mean, we still did the whole release. I was still cool with it. I'm still cool with the owner of the label. Everything was cool. I was just already over that sound that I didn't really want to promote it too much, even though I did. But I was just like, all right, this is my last one. Was Martian. Boom, do my thing, push it out. And but I was already over it. Put that way.
All right, well, let me ask Rami and Robert as well for like in this situation. Like if you guys sign to a label, or do you make music too, bro? Like, for sure. Well, like let's just speak for like Rami and Robert, for instance. Like let's say you guys like got a label release, right? And it's like 10 months out, and then by the time that release month's here, you're not really feeling the track no more. If they were to ask you guys if you guys still want to do the release, would you guys still do it just because you guys had already agreed to it? Or would you just be stubborn and be like, you know what, like I'm kind of like it doesn't represent my brand at this time, therefore I don't want to go through with that. Like would you guys like experiment with that approach, or would you guys just let it be type shit?
So we're talking about hypothetically we're not fucking with our sound anymore type shit?
Well, yeah, pretty much like, or it's just like the sound that I'm on right now. With this release that we had scheduled, it's just not now the representation. So like, would you guys still let it be, or would you guys be like, you know what, like actually I don't want to release this no more because it's not my current representation?
I reached out to the label and asked them to release my track.
Actually, that is an important question.
That's true.
Like I need to know.
Question.
Like I'd have
it's
to
circumstances.
Know, like was I the one that reached out to the label in the first place to get it released? Because if that was the case, and then it had come out. Like they were pushing it to 9 months out, and then I feel like at the end of the 9 months, I feel like that's me just doubting myself. So I would just let it go.
Let it go. Okay.
Yeah.
Word.
I don't know why I think I trust myself enough to feel like, look, I liked it at that point.
I feel
like that means like I shouldn't be doubting myself at this point now.
Yeah.
Because at that point, I thought people were gonna fuck with it. So maybe it won't be like the best production I've ever made. But people are still gonna fuck with it, and it's still gonna represent like some part of me, because, bro, I wanted to send it to a label, so
you wanted to get it out, it's for a reason.
Yeah. If it was one of those tracks where I really didn't give a fuck, I probably would have self-released it, or like would have went kind of under the radar.
Yeah, and we see the situation. It's not even like with labels, but it's just people sitting on music, right? Yeah, like people are just like they already have the music like finished, and they're just sitting on it, and it just comes to the point where like, I ain't trying to release this no more. Like I already feel like I am now like either evolved or now I'm on a different sound. But it's still like a thing. Like nah, bro. Like it's still a good record. Like there's still people that will appreciate it. But I can see.
You want that connected to what you're doing now. You know what I'm saying?
But I guess Robert brought up a real like an important observation. Like how like in terms of label releases, like how was that approach? Did the artist send the demo, or did the label reach out for a particular like label release and schedule type shit like that? Again, there's like those details that are like.
And it is in two different things because.
Okay, yeah, we're talking about if we're talking.
Yeah, you changed your name as well though too.
For sure.
So it didn't really matter at the end of it.
It even got released under Martian, and I wasn't Martian anymore. You know what I'm saying?
So,
I'll tell you what. These days now, for sure, I'm starting to like come to like projects where at like 6 months ago I was like, yeah, this is a finished track record. Like, I'm gonna release, and now I'm just like, yeah, no, like this is not like
I think
I've evolved, like you said, I guess, right?
Good.
I think
it's a record still, you know, like it's like, but like it's still like at a time I justified that, okay, this is a good record, I'm gonna release it like at a certain time, but then that certain time comes, it's like oh, like I don't, like you don't really fuck with it like as much anymore. So now like you start like again like you start doubting like the record, like but it's because like your mindset and like your current like taste and like production, it's like it could be a mind fuck. I guess it's a mental challenge sometimes, like because you start doubting like the effectiveness of like how the record will work out like in a public release setting. And yeah, I think it could be a little dangerous like mental thing like sitting on music, because then you start thinking like, oh, like either your music taste changes and you're just like, oh, like nah, I don't really like the song, but then you could like kind of screw yourself out of an opportunity of someone like listening to it and be like, oh, dude, like that could be someone's like interpretation of like a hit, you know? Like you may not think it's a hit, but like, you know, you hear the stories where people are like, oh, I made this track and you know, I fucked with it, but then like later on, like it was like whatever, but I still released it, but then it ended up becoming like viral and a hit, and like, you know, you hear about a lot of these situations. It's just like we are in our own mind and we have our own opinions about our own music. We're our worst critics, and a lot of times like we might feel something different about our art, but it's people on the other side interpret it in a specific way, and
I think that whole thing like. That just goes to show how much we overthink, right? But think about it this way, bro. You fucked with it so much that you finished the track. Like, and then now all the doubts are coming after the fact, bro. So like, why are you really doubting yourself that much? I get it. Circumstances, the only way I would tell a label, nah, is if circumstances were really like, oh no, I'm rebranding. Like, or even like I'm changing my logo. Like I'm just about to have another label release with a big like another label. This might like collide. This might not be a good like. That's the only way I'd be like, nah. But if those circumstances weren't falling through, that's just, I feel like as an artist, that's just you fucking overthinking. Yeah, bro, you made the fucking track, dog. Yeah, exactly. Like you made it. You feel me? Like it really. I don't think it's gonna be that bad, like if you really think about it. And plus, say like you do just change like your sound, right? What if you still have fans that expected some shit like that, you know? Sure. So you're still able to feed those fans and shit. So I think I don't know. I think
it's more on the artist.
Yeah, it really
it's just us overthinking that shit, bro. That's really all it is.
It really is, bro.
But I think it's dope to, and because it's on another label, it's not like it's attached to like any of your main pages at all whatsoever. Even if like you released it on or if it was out like on a iTunes or something like that, it wouldn't be under your shit, like under your artist page. It would be under their page type shit. Yeah. So it's really not fucking up your shit other than people having to go find it. So I don't think it's ever a negative thing for you not to release music, you know?
For sure. True that. I mean, as long as you're satisfied with what the fuck's out there representing you, like Brown Lime. I know there's some people out there like, I don't know why I released this shit. you guys ever had that feeling? Like you guys ever look,
bro? But sometimes like I'll release tracks that I'll be like, fuck it, like I wasn't fully satisfied, but you know what? It is what it is. And I'll just go on to the next track. That track's not even in my mind. Right. And then you'll get comments like, bro, this song is fucking awesome. Like, I've listened to it this many times. Right. And you're just like, oh, fuck. Like,
thanks.
That's cool. You know? Like, damn, like, I was really beating myself up about this track. You don't even know. But, like, I appreciate that comment. Like, you feel me? Like, some people are really going to fuck with it regardless type shit. Yeah. You know, some people just can't do it in general, you know? So it's like,
you know, I feel like sometimes artists release shit because they're sometimes not too sure how they feel. So they just put it like in a public setting and they're like,
let's see how it does.
All right, let's see how it goes. I feel like a lot of times, I feel like I've had a few releases where I'm like, let's just see how this goes.
Right, bro. So my first label release, bro, this year that came out. Neobird, bro. Right, like, I released it on my SoundCloud originally, and then the label reached out to me and was like, "Oh, we're down to re-release this," and I was like, "Hell yeah!" And just because I only released it on SoundCloud, and because it was only released on SoundCloud, they're like, "Oh, you don't even have to take it down from SoundCloud, just leave it and we'll do everything else.
Add to it.
Yeah, and I was like, fuck, like that's dope as fuck. And I think it was a track that I wasn't expecting like to get anything from. I just thought, damn, this is fire. Let's fucking release this shit. And then that's like my biggest track this year, I think.
That's what I love about that. There would be tracks that you don't even like pay too much attention to. Or like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. That's a cool track.
Do really good.
Eat it up.
I made it like at 12 in the morning. Like I got done with it at like 3:30 in the morning. I woke up and I was like, I'm gonna release a track today, and that's what happened. And I was like, okay, for sure. Like that. Sometimes, you know, like you just don't expect things. And honestly, I was just releasing it just to say I'm gonna release a track today, and I just moved the fuck on. And then like 2 weeks later,
got hit up.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's dope as fuck. That's dope as fuck.
You know, I like how as we get older and like we have much more mature taste. I like how we're able to like specifically like really dissect why we like certain genres. You know, because I feel like when we're young, like 100%. Our brain, we're just like, oh yeah, we like electro. Like we just like how it sounds. But I feel like as I've gotten older, I've been able to like really dissect,
appreciate
why I like electro house. Oh, it's because they have this certain like format of like synths going on. Or this is why I like future rhythm, because it's not just like happy rhythm, but they're using like a lot more variation in melody, and like it's not just dubstep to me. Like it all not just all dubstep. Like I can actually now like dissect like genres. Like we're like when we're young, we're not really, I guess, focusing on like the breakdown of shit.
Can you dissect that? So what I came across recently is being able to dissect genres and understand why people like
enjoy them. Yep.
Like now the reason why I made Amergosa too, and I'm into this, what I'm making now, is because like I never liked that sound, but I got into it and I'm like thinking like that's why people like it, and then I like it now. I'm like, wait, this shit does slap. You know what I'm saying?
It's really opening perspective.
Like, honestly, I can understand why people like fucking trance. I understand it now. I understand fucking 100%. Dubstep, rhythm, all that shit. You can think of like, I understand that's why I can still go to events and fucking rage out.
You think it all that comes based off feelings you've experienced?
Feelings and a lot of
because like honestly, bro, I couldn't really understand trance until like I went with someone like I cared about and shit, and I was like, damn, this is fucking okay. I understand it now, you know.
Hey, bro, you in techno?
Yes, exactly. Like I understand it now. It's just like a vibe, like type shit, like. It just comes with experience, I think, and the feeling that
it's experience.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
The more you experience and you jump around the spectrum of sounds, you get to understand why people even like it. You know what I'm saying? Because like for the longest, I didn't like what I'm making now. I'd be like, bro, I would never make that. That shit sounds boring and what? You know what I'm saying? Like what? Just fucking a couple of sounds. But now I understand. It's the appreciation for those mental sounds. And heavy ass kicks. Like
I feel like too, once you start to appreciate more genres, you start to take influence from those genres. Yeah. Whether it's like a far away from the spectrum of the genre you're currently making, that you'll start to like, throw it in there somehow.
That was some adulting that I noticed. Fucking appreciating everything. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. For sure, because
it comes with adulting, bro.
Right?
Like, how do you experience all that in high school type shit?
No,
like,
you're juvenile, bro.
You say hip hop and like, you know what I'm saying?
You're just trying to get turned, fam.
Yeah,
and like,
get lit.
Yeah, that's it. And like drinking to see what it feels like, pretty much. You know, like that's all you're doing. I seen that, Carlos. That was nice.
And I know I always bring like this story sometimes a lot, but I always bring up the story like when I didn't like dubstep. Dude, you sounded just like me after me attending like my first Excision dubstep show. When you're like, oh, I could appreciate this shit now, because something happened to me too. Where like I went to like a dubstep show with like someone I cared about, and I was like, all right, fuck it. Like I ain't paying for this shit, so fuck it. Like we'll see what dubstep rhythm is all about. This is my first time seeing Yaks. This is my first time seeing I forgot who else I was saying, but yeah, dude, I felt just like that when I went to my first Excision show at the NOS. Cause before that, I wasn't even making dubstep or bass music. I was like, I'm trying to be on my trap shit. So I was making some sort of bass music, but it was like trap shit, right?
I remember that, bro.
And then I actually had I think when you actually go to a show and an event where it's like strictly that culture, you can now definitely like understand why there's certain energies and certain stages and certain acts, and
it just depends on where you are at in life. Is where you're gonna choose one of those stages, bro. So right?
But right now, I'm 28 years old and I'm fucking so chilling. Like I'm so relaxed and like living life like very mellow. So like I listen to mellow music. I make mellow ass house shit that just hits. You know what I'm saying? Like,
interesting.
It's not like, bro, I could adapt to that really crazy.
So is there a lot of our records like current representations of how we're going, what we're feeling going through? 100%.
That's how I feel.
So my last release was Feature Rhythm. Shit, like what does that say about?
Oh, you in your feels?
I was in my.
in your feels, dog.
Have you guys checked out my last release?
Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of shit was I on? Like according to that, like I was in my feels, Robert. Yeah, I was in my feels, I guess. Yeah, I was in my feels. I was in my feels. I made the track. I was in my feels. Yeah. Your last one. You were mellow. How are you feeling, Robert? Wasted.
Oh, bro, I was feeling ignorant, dog.
Oh, they
I was
were
feeling
ignorant.
mad ignorant when I made that track. Like, it was some trap shit. Those fucking heavy like synths, and then a hard bass with the fucking Gucci vocals, dog. Like, I was just, I had like 2 blunts rolled, and I was just smoking, like vibing, and yeah, that's how I was feeling that day. I was feeling ignorant.
Exactly.
Sometimes, fam. Sometimes I'll be sad as fuck, and I'll make some fucking house or something.
Yeah, and it's honestly so cool that even when someone that you don't know, like just like for example, like comments on your track, oh dude, this track is tight. Like, yeah, like damn, dude, okay, person from Croatia, like I appreciate you and shit. Like, damn, that's cool. You would never think like. Just for me, at least one person like can just show some sort of like engagement and be like, dude, like your art,
like genuine engagement. Yeah, I had that happen recently with my recent release where some guy he found it on the Hyped It release chart. And this dude was just like, dude, honestly, I whenever I'm on like downloading the track from Hyped It, I will never like listen to the track. But once I heard your track, bro, I stayed throughout the whole thing. This is the only time I've ever done this. Like, I love your shit. I was just like, thanks, bro. Like, I was just like, holy shit, what the hell? That's wild, dude. But yeah, it's. Oh yeah, speaking on like how we were feeling on our last release, I guess I'll touch up on like Good for Nothing. That track, I don't know. I just felt kind of lost for some reason. And then not only that, I felt kind of lost of like, okay, like I'm not really trying to be the dubstep kid anymore. So I made that song.
What you feel like you were trying to do with your brand at first, or?
I feel like. I mean, I don't know. I can't say that like I've adulted because I'm only 22 and you guys are like fucking like
hey, bro,
chill. Hold on. Hey, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. Relax. No, I'm not gonna say I'm a fucking adult.
How old do you think I am, bro?
I'm not gonna look. I'm not trying to say that like I'm a full-on adult now.
We can finally be on top of the house on the other end of the rope.
Exactly, bro. I'm not trying to say like I'm a fucking grown-ass adult now, but I'm pretty sure, Carlos, you've seen how much I've matured through music. Like you see my reposts on SoundCloud. You kind of will hear some mellow wave, like ambient kind of shit, right. And I appreciate that. With that track that I put out, it's like. It was a whole different route that I wanted to take. And I was just like, you know what? I'm tired of making this shit. You know, like I'm going to just get on my DAW, make whatever the fuck I make and see what happens. And it turns out that I naturally grew into Wave Trap or Witch House. And that's where we're at now, honestly. And I'm happy with the release. I'm happy where I'm at with my sound. Shit's lit.
So I wanted to ask all y'all a question because I have an answer for this, but I want to hear y'all's first. What's like one thing that your music took you to that you were shocked it took you to, or like something it brought to you, like a connection, a place, whatever it is for you? Like what's one thing that you never thought, like, damn, because of me making music, now I'm here, or now I'm doing this?
I'll be deep with my answer because it is kind of deep. It kind of got me to be more open and more social with people. Because as a kid, I was always kind of like self-centered and like kind of shy, kind of like scared to go out into the world. And with this coming up, with me like releasing music and shit, like with me like just starting Grammy in general, I just started to notice that change where I'm like, I'm actually more engaging with people now. And I wouldn't like take that decision back to make music for the world, because honestly, I don't know how I would be as a person in general if it wasn't for me taking that leap. And yeah, that's how I met you guys now and shit, too. That's another accomplishment too, getting to know the locals too, bro. Like, I didn't think that I would be here, and it's cool to just be around. I don't want to call ourselves a collective, but it's cool to be it's cool to be around like-minded people. We're getting our hustle on. We're supporting each other genuinely. Yeah, we have our different routes that we take in terms of like genre and shit, but we're still supporting each other 100%.
What about you, Amergosa?
I feel like basically ever since starting music, like being able to have those connections with people that you've never met in your life. Having those connections with people you never met in your life, and I don't know. I feel like when you make music and you do a proper release, or you come out with something that you're proud of, it feels like it's an accomplishment that you really don't get out of your normal everyday or even every year feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like, you almost feel like you just like got promoted, or you like your business is booming. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, I don't know. I feel like when you're making music and actually being decently good or being good, you just feel like you're doing something. You have a purpose.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's another thing too. Yeah.
Did because you said it, and I want to know if you said it distinctively on purpose. You said when you get decent, did that feeling that you just said only come until you felt comfortable with like making music?
Genuinely comfortable.
Well, when I meant by decent is like when you can post shit or you can make shit and you actually vibe out to it. It's not just like fucking sounds put together. You're just like, damn, I hope this slaps. It's like, it slaps.
Like, just for the sake of having the producer tag on you, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
I made this song, no one's around, I'm bumping it, and I'm actually I'm like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I can make music now. You know what I'm saying? Like, this sounds good. Because, obviously everyone did the whole long process of years of like, damn, this shit's ass. This shit's super ass. And you even think it's good, but it's ass. Mm-hmm. But then you actually finally come out with something decently good, and you're like, okay, finally I can make music now. And then once you're at that stage, and then you do another breakthrough where like, wait,
climax.
Now I'm good at producing. It's like, oh, you know what I'm saying? It's just different stages. Like when you first learn how to mix, or when you first learn how to master, or when you first learn how to fucking put down a loop, a bar, you know what I'm saying?
I feel you, bro. I feel like I'm on that same journey with you. Like, I feel like shit's adding up.
It's the plateau. Yeah, you hit that plateau.
Where I'm happy as fuck because I finally know exactly what I'm doing. I can go from A to Z, no problem.
I know I could get on the DAW and be like, let's make some shit. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
Like, I like that feeling.
That's a great feeling.
And then being able to, like, go out somewhere and play it to people and then see some type of, like, that full circle moment is fucking, it's insane. Like, it's an insane feeling that not a lot of people get to feel.
That's my intake on what I want to answer your question. Like, that's how I feel. That makes me feel good. Obviously, also being able to connect with people in different countries that don't even speak English. They're just like, cool track, bro. But like after that, it's like they don't know what the hell to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's sick.
Do you get the comments that are like in another language and stuff, and you can't even read what it says?
I haven't got there yet.
It's like their nationality flag at the end.
Yeah, bro. I was like, damn, I don't even know what this comment says right here, bro. But okay, I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it. What about you, Carlos?
Honestly, I mean, I would just be repeating a lot of stuff that you guys were saying, because I mean, it's honestly a lot of the same feelings that you guys get. I mean, just like, I mean, dude, I mean, particularly with me, like with music, like I feel like if I wouldn't have been making like music, I wouldn't have had like a lot of like the connections and friendships and like relationships I would have right now, especially like in EDM. I think being able to like release music at this, being able to just go into a DAW and like be now much more comfortable to be like, oh yeah, like I want to make this, and like it's much more easier now than what it used to be back then. And if I wanted to be able to like express myself like creatively, I could do that a lot more now, and like less stressful. Like, for some people, like for expression or like to vent, I use that shit a lot to vent as well. Like for example, my last release, like Never Want to Leave, like I think it's just so cool, like for what it's done for me in terms of like music and like therapeutical as fuck, you know, in terms of refreshing, dude. Like, especially when there's times where like, you know, there's just like certain words that you can't really come up with that matches like what you're going through, like with some music, because you can. There's like infinite ways to like attack music, right? Like to make music. There's just like a much more clear representation of your venting of like your emotions, and to see that like on a playback and shit, especially like live, like full circle and people connecting to that. Like, I think it's real cool.
Since we're on the topic of like the production and like the emotional side and what it brings to you, how do you guys get the same way? Or maybe I'm just very emotional myself. Do you guys ever get like in a like, I'm not a depressive person, but like in a depressive state with your music, like you kind of feel like you're not doing anything? Or maybe that's just me.
That's it.
I don't know if it's just me. I hope it's not.
I feel like that. Look, I'll tell you what.
But like, I feel like I'm kind of in a circle going like this, and it's like I'm not really doing anything, but I'm actually doing a shit ton. But
like, what's the anything? Like, what's anything equals? So what does the anything equal like?
Okay, like I'm trying my best to be this person that I want to be. I'm trying to create the sound that I'm trying to do, and everything is like working out, but it's like you still feel like you're not doing enough.
Yeah.
Is it because like is it like, or do you think, are you measuring that because of like lack of maybe opportunity or like lack of like?
Yeah, exactly. I would say
like what kind of opportunity?
I don't know, maybe like.
Cause like you know, we see other people like, you know, like
being an artist, you compare yourself to
for sure. Yeah, it happens. Yeah.
And you feel like you're doing the same thing as another artist or even better, but you're getting nowhere near the same results. And that's what I mean.
No, for sure. No, yeah.
Okay,
it's
so
a bad thing to do though.
It is a bad. Well,
I feel.
I got you. Yeah.
So I think we all do it, bro. I think we all fucking we've all been there. But I think the way to get out of that, and the way I've personally been trying to like look at it is like, okay, say these accolades never come, bro. Say these opportunities never come. Like, what if like in my journey, bro, they're just not coming. Mm-hmm. What if I knew that right now? If I know they're not coming right now, am I stopping? Am I stopping what the fuck I'm doing right now, bro?
Okay.
Like that's what I really got to ask myself.
And what I would add to that, if I knew nothing is coming towards me in any of those ways, I'm not stopping, but I'm not giving this as much energy into it. I'm like going.
That's fair.
I'm going into business and I'm going into other bullshit to establish a strong income. Obviously, music's gonna come with an income, right? At the end of the day, we all trying to get money, right? We're all trying to survive.
Let's just be real.
At the end of the day, if we can make income with music, for sure. Like,
let's just be
because we could.
I'm not 100%, bro. Yeah, I'm going into tech. I'm going into cyber. Or I'm
right.
going into business, bro. I'm still gonna do music. I'm probably gonna have my studio in my house, but that's just for me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's just for like a hobby. If I knew the outcome right now of what's gonna go down the line, you know, and that's like the part of the depressive that I'm talking about. It's not really like you're kind of like there be days where I'm just like I'll work on music and I'm like, I'm done.
Let me ask you this: are you at the point right now where you can make your vision happen? Can you make your exact vision happen right now?
Honestly, like if I would go 10 toes deep and like into what I'm doing, I think I can. But I think there's always like a little doubt that's like kind of stopping me. So like, to actually go fucking head first into what I want to do. There's like a little doubt. It's like, okay, bro, like.
So if it doesn't work out?
Yeah, like, or like, what if you put too much energy into this and it's really not? Trust me,
I feel you, bro.
I still put 110% energy.
So
what happens?
I'm glad like that you brought this up because the initial question is like what did like music bring to you or what did produce you? My answer for that was it brought me drive, bro. Like
drive.
Like this time, like wanting to do music, wanting to create my Zion Dawn project, wanting to do all that. It made me in my real life be like, nah, bro, you gotta work. Like,
because you could do it.
I need, like, if I want to make my vision exactly how I need to make it, I need to be making money somewhere so I can make my vision pop off. No matter, like, I want my vision to pop off. At the end of the day, like, I don't care if it's gonna bring. I want my art and shit to look exactly how. Once I make my shit look how I look, and if no one fucks with it, bro, no one fucks with it. But it was my art, and I'm putting all my energy and shit into it regardless.
You do that, and like no one fucks with it, but at the same time, as you're getting older, you got to be realistic, and this is when like the parents come in and they're like, "All right,
you're 30."
But see, that's why I said. That's why I said. This taught me drive. It taught me that I need to make money outside of my Zion. Like I need to have structure outside of my
Zion Dawn because you're so busy. You know, I don't know what people's schedules are. People are working 60 hours a week. You know, whatever the case is, you still need income. And let's just say you get a girlfriend, whatever. There's still life things that go on behind the music, and there's gonna be stuff that are gonna like stop you from making music. Not even stop you, but like
nah, bro, you're right. A little bit. Yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying right now.
You get kicked out. You can be living by yourself. Whatever the case is.
Bro, I get you got to deal with other people's problems too and all that shit. The best way to, bro, like and this is something you really got to think. Like you have to structure your life in a way that is conducive to you making music and to you is conducive to you making a brand, like to you, you know, like your start is a business, bro. Like, you feel me? So think about it, like, money. And some people spend all their lives trying to get their business going, bro. Right. You feel me? So like, at the end of the day, bro, like, I'm gonna die saying like I tried my best making my fucking vision happen. And
were you happy? Fuck yeah, you were.
Bro, I'm happy every time I'm out there spinning. Every time I'm being able to do that shit. Yeah. That's what makes all the depressive like. Damn, like, fuck, is this working? I don't care. Like, I'm out here. Right we're here, fam. You're like, I'm 26. 26? Okay. Yeah, I'm 26.
So, I understand that 100%, and I've been living that, like, lifestyle forever. But I'm not even that age yet, but let's just say we hit 38. Put 38. And we're still chasing this dream.
Word.
We're still chasing this dream. At some point between 38 and now, you're going to be like, yeah, I'm chasing this dream, but...
Countdown.
Bro.
Yeah, not countdown because supposedly you can make it at any age. You know, that's true. Yeah. But you got to start thinking about realistic. And I just got a reality check a couple months ago where it's like, my dad's a business owner, big CEO, does his thing. He looks at me. Bro. I'm just a fucking producer. You know what I'm saying?
So look, like, I get that, bro. I get that feeling, right? So... At 38, bro, realistically, in my head, I'm going to be a producer, but I'm also going to be a manager at a property that I'm working at right now. Like, just because I have goals for my Zion Dawn project doesn't mean I don't have goals for my personal life. Like, that shouldn't, just because you have a goal for your Amergosa project doesn't mean you shouldn't have goals for your life, bro. Oh, yeah, like, 100%. You feel me? Understand, like, your life isn't your project type shit.
Because how much energy we're putting into our own projects right now.
We could put it into real life.
We're putting a lot of energy into it. A shit ton of energy, right? Mm-hmm. I'm assuming. Because I am as well. Yeah. We're putting a lot of energy into it. But there's going to be that time where it's like, instead of 100, you're going like 70. And now you're putting a lot more energy into this. And then little by little, I hope for none of us that happens, that we just start weeding out what we want to do. I hope we keep that dream. But little by little, it's life.
It's gonna happen to a lot of people, bro.
It's already happened.
Yeah, I was about to say we've been. I'm glad we're having this talk at our 100th episode, fam. Look back at the people we've had.
We're reflecting. We're really reflecting.
Really look back at some of the people we've had at this podcast and who's still doing it. The people that are still here, still grinding. It's gonna be a part of them, regardless, dog. This is what like. That hard feeling that you feel, that's what comes with it.
They're hungry.
That's what comes with what you're doing right now, what you're striving for. That feeling that's like, fuck, what am I? That's what comes with this lifestyle, and you could either choose to dive into that shit or choose to let all those thoughts like get to you and then think like, damn, all right, well, maybe I can't put too much energy into this now. Nah, bro, like you might even look crazy, bro. Like 38, you're gonna look fucking,
you're gonna look wild.
And you gotta understand. You gotta understand it. Like, bro, I'm gonna look crazy, but
I still got a house. I still got a house. Like I got me.
I'm not folding on me. Like you feel me? Like I'm just not doing that. Like that's not the way I'm built. That's just not.
It's been coming into my mind a lot lately. Right before I started Amergosa, it's been coming into my mind thinking about like, okay, I'm gonna switch my name. I'm gonna go full fledged, but at the same time, I need to start thinking financially. I need to start thinking about like, so I'm an older guy now. You know, I want my own place. You know,
sure.
I don't live by myself. I live with my aunt, but I eventually want my own place, which takes more money, which takes more time, which takes less time from making music. If music isn't making me enough money now, it's gonna be it's a hobby. It's kind of like deteriorating money. I still have that big dream, but as time is going, it's kind of like, I don't want to say this, but it's kind of like the dream's going like, you know what I'm saying?
What?
Like, yeah, a little bit.
So
it's not taken away from your hungriness, but it's going there naturally.
Yeah, it's slowly. It's very, very, and I'm still 100% going in. I'm 100% giving me Amergosa 100%, and I'm still gonna keep going. But it's just something to think about, you know. 100%.
So